Hello everyone, it is Sue here. So in today's slow stitch mini project, I'm going to work on something, I'm going to call it new, although it's not new at all. I guess my thought is new. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these beautiful burnt oranges and I was thinking of even pulling in a fabric like this that I could just, look at all the colors in there, like amazing, right? And what I'm thinking of doing is, so my mother, who lives in assisted living, and she does a lot of crocheting. And every November they have, like a craft fair there. And all the proceeds goes towards Alzheimer's. So she was showing me like the little pumpkins that she makes. I'll have to show you in another video. She crochets these different sized pumpkins and she just does it all for, they'll sell them that day. And so it got me thinking, well, with all of these quick little projects that I work on, why don't I make something that is, a little bit more useful? So one of the things they're making is a little change purse. And I'm like, well, I can make a change purse. Right? So I've gone through a few different iterations in my head, but this would be my first one. Yeah, it's a little pouch is what it is. Really, I just thought of that. It's really just a little pouch. It is, let's see how big this is. It is, well, 6 inches by about 4 inches. Let me see if I can get you, whoops, the centimeters. So the centimeters, would be basically almost 17 by 10. So let me show you what I've done and so far, and then I'm just gonna, like, this is all about my ideas at this point. Again, it's just a pouch, right? I know that. Now that I'm making this video, I'm realizing that. But again, the purpose is different. And I could even make like smaller ones, but I wanted to start a little bit bigger because I know I'm going to be sewing on the sides a little bit, which is going to make it a little bit smaller. So my thought is this, and I'll show you what I have together here so far. But my thought is this, that to close it, I'm going to take a button. I have different buttons I can, look through. And I don't know what, some sort of I do have elastic, long elastic in black and white that I could use. And whatever it is I use to go around this button, I would stitch, like I'll have to know before I stitch the top of this, because I would stitch it in the middle so that you can't see it. And then that would just go around, like maybe even a bigger button would be better. Especially because, let me see if I have even a bigger one. Because the ladies up there, they could buy it for a gift as well. But they, it could be a little hard for them to deal with a small closure. Let me just cut this open. This was a thank you for something that I purchased. Even something like that I think is super pretty. Now I have all these little buttons all over the place. Even, I wonder if doing one using a button with a, what is that called? I know it's called something, would be better because then it's looser and easier to get the elastic around. If any of you have experience with this or even just your thought, I'm wondering if a button that has this would be better. Well, we'll figure that out as we go along. So for right now, I'm going to put those to the side. So what I did was, and right now it's basted down, so this is all together. And how I came up with the size was just because that was the fabric. I mean, the fabric was a bigger embroidered piece. It has a little bit of embroidery on it, but I used the main part of it. And I just kind of cut out a section and used it because I liked the top of it for, well, the top of this. So that's kind of how I came up with that. Let me zoom back out a little bit again because I don't want to cut this off. Okay, so this is the inside. So I know I need a fabric on the inside so that it looks nice. And I thought that this fabric was super pretty. Well, because it has the autumnal print, but it's also very small print. So I thought for something small, that would work really well. Inside, I do have a layer of batting. And what do you folks call it? You call it wadding in the UK. And Australia is yeah, I think yeah. So anyway, so this is the wadding that I used. And then of course I have this. Now, this is going to be, I'm going to stitch all over this. So it's kind of like I have to figure out, so if I put that up like that and that down like that, like I could come further down, but I'm kind of thinking of not going like all the way down to here. Well, and that's going to also allow more room for a button, right? Because if I come too far down, then there's not room for the button. So I'm thinking that that is good. So then my thought was, only because I saw these sitting over on in my bins, is I do have these stamped images. And well, I thought, well, how cute would it be to pull one of these images in? And I really, 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 really like these. These are Dina Wakley stamps, these right here. And, you know, I really, really like this fabric. I mean, it would have to be cut and everything, but my problem is this. I'm going to just pull that up so you can see where this goes. My problem is I can't put it in the middle because it's too long. I could put it on the side, but then it just doesn't seem right to me. It seems, it's off center. And so I don't know. I don't know that would be good. So let's look at the flower for a second. So if I move that into the middle, would the flower fit? The flower could fit. That is possible. Let's try a little bird. Keep it kind of, oops, you know what? Let me, I don't want to use those scissors. I'm just going to cut it so I don't mess it up too much. Keeping it fairly small. I can't talk while I'm cutting. I can't do both at the same time. Oh, that was crooked. See, that's because I was talking. Okay. So, well, I guess he would go like that. Well, then I would cut, I guess I would maybe do a fussy cut, but leave a good amount of fabric around him. So I could do that. I could do that. I want to see. See, because then we have his feet. So a lot of times, like even if you're doing like a butterfly, you know, their antenna, sometimes it's easier just not to include them, and then you can just stitch them on, like with black thread or something. So, but let me see. Let me see. Okay. So he would fit. He would fit. I mean, I don't want to put him there just because he fits, though. I'm thinking it might look too plain. Oh, I could use a yo-yo. No. Nope, 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 nope. I'm just looking at stuff here. I don't know. I don't know what to do, to tell you the truth. I mean, it doesn't have to be this fabric, right? So let me see what else I have here. Let's just say, and I'm gonna have a lot of different fabrics, you know, my usual style where I piece them together. But I could do something like that, but then that, it looks silly. So I can't do that. I don't have to have a closure. I mean, they could just, no, I would need a closure if they truly use it for change. Otherwise, well, the change is going to come out. Okay, so I have a dilemma with what I'm going to put here. I mean, I could, let me grab some of my lacy bits here. So just imagine this being like maybe 3 or 4 different fabrics here, following the line of this right here, right? So how pretty that looks, right? So let's see. So even if I took something like that with the fabric under it, that's super pretty. That's really pretty. I'm going to leave that out because you can see the fabric under it. I could just take, I can make it lacy up on top. So let me see. Let me see. One moment, please. I know I have, I'm looking through. I am looking through this. I'm just looking for some little pieces. I don't want it to be too autumnal because, well, I don't mean it to be that. I mean, I want them to be able to use it year round. So let me just take out a few. Oh, I love this fabric right here. Okay, let me move this. I have a mess. I now already have a mess on this desk. Oh my gosh. All right. So I think that's good for the purpose of what I have in my head to show you. I'll just pull that out. Okay. So let's just say, well, it's not going to be that big. So, and I'm not going to want it in the middle. So I'm going to want it to be off-centered. And let's just say I pull in a little piece of that. So I'm just going to cut this. Not that, you know, and it doesn't matter to me that I'm cutting fabric and it's all good. It'll get used someday. Okay, let's just say that goes there. And then let's just say this goes here. Okay. Let me cut this. Okay. All right. So it's going to look like that. And I mean, I could do something pretty like that. It doesn't have to go all the way across. I have something like that. So I guess I can fool around with this stuff, with the laces and stuff as I'm making it. Oh, I like that actually. That's pretty. Okay, so I have options. So in other words, if I have, let me see, I'm going to pull out another little piece. This has turned out to be one of my favorite pieces of lace like ever. Okay, so if I had that there and that there, I think that would be pretty. Of course, this is all going to be fabric. It's all going to be a color. So let's just say this is down here. And again, it's going to be different fabrics under here, right? I like it. Can you imagine that? Like, am I the only one that can imagine what this will look like? Am I? Or are you guys with me? I would probably have them, you know, every which way. So kind of patchworky. You know, maybe pull in a little bit of yellow. Because I have yellow up there. Come on, get under there. And a deeper, darker brown piece. Yeah, so something like that. So can you imagine that? I think you guys can. You're all creative. So something like that, about that big. You know, if I make it and they want to sell it for $5, I think they would try to sell it for 10, which to me, it doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter. It matters that they get more for Alzheimer's, but for me, I'm not going to see any of it, so it doesn't matter. So no matter what price they put on it, I think it would be 10 because that's what they're going to sell the crocheted change purses for. I think I like it. I think I like it. So, okay. So what I would do is, so let's talk about the construction of it for a minute. Let me just put all this to the side. Okay, so back to this. So you get the idea for the outside. So the sides, and again, this is all basted down. I didn't want to deal with needles or pins, so I didn't put pins in it. So I guess I would do like an overcast stitch, a tight one, meaning like really close together up here. Then I could continue up here and then just stitch across here, remembering that I have to put whatever I'm going to use for the closure in there. And that would be it. What do you guys think? Give me your opinions, please. What am I missing? What am I not thinking of? What should I do? What do you like? What don't you like? Let me have it. Give it to me. And once I do this, I can make more. And again, I can do different sizes, and like they don't all have to have this, right? I mean, I can do different things. But I do like the idea. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is gorgeous. I don't know why I have this out, but I do. Like I could even take, so once again, making believe the fabric is up there. So say I just took something like this and, you know, sewed this up top. Like how pretty is that, right? Right? I mean, on one that's like in brighter in color, I can use, right? I have all these different things. Like that would be gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I would love that. Like look, oh, ho, ho, ho. I like this a lot. Let me zoom in a little bit now. Look at that. Imagine all the browns and oranges. Then that would go over the top like that, right around to the back, and that would all be stitched down with the brown fabrics underneath. That is stunning. Just so you can see it better. Look at that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I love it. I love it. Let me see if I can just, so you can see. Look at how gorgeous. Okay, so my head is spinning. Again, let me know what you think. And I will come back next Friday. And we'll continue working on this. And again, it is my slow stitch mini project. So if you want to do your own slow stitch mini project, meaning 5 hours or less, you can use that hashtag, and anybody that wants to click on it, like, so if you wanted to see all my slow stitch mini projects, just go ahead and click on the hashtag. And sometimes it, I don't know, YouTube is weird, but anyways, you'll figure it out. You'll find what I'm talking about. All right, well, let me know if you have any questions, and have a wonderfully blessed weekend. Okay, God bless everybody. Bye-bye.